Richie Longshots. Oh wow!
What's up?
Look at
Man,
that
dressed up for the
shirt.
show tonight.
Wow!
Yeah, I
Wow!
flew back from a little dinner with the wife and some family, and made it home with about 5 minutes to spare. So we
Feel
made it
good.
happen. We got here in time.
What a guy! He could never miss a show. He's just on it. Hey, and Bill Powell and the missus are watching.
Oh, I got to be on my
Hey.
best behavior tonight then.
Yeah. Let's keep it.
Is
Let's keep it at least PG-13.
is there news to break? Is there something going on?
I don't know. I want Chad to just jump on here and break it. That's
I
what
hope
the
it
Tell
has
him
something to do
Chad,
with
text me.
Deion
I'll break the
Sanders.
news. Yes, Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders. I'm not
You
an
know it's important.
insider, but I'm confidently inside enough to say that Deion Sanders will not be the next coach
Yeah,
of
me
Liberty
too.
University. I will confidently say, like, there's a few names, and I did a blog that might drop soon where I break down the list of potential coaches with what I think the odds are, and I didn't even put Deion on the list.
with
Man, it would make Kirby and I happy because he's a former Brave and a former Reds player.
Yeah, I mean, I would love it. It would be a hoot, but I'm a logical person.
boo. Chad taking shots on here without.
Jeez.
Come on, Chad.
Boom, roasted.
Sheesh. All right. Well, here's what
Not
we
very
did.
nice.
Here's what we did last week. No one had a good week except for John Manson. Chad. John was 6-5. How about that? We were 5-6. The death pick of Delaware State plus 24. We called it last week. We said Liberty's definitely going to cover, and it happened. So anytime we all pick the same game,
Yeah.
Go bet the mortgage against the other because it's definitely going to happen.
And we couldn't even watch that game.
I
had people like tweeting me like, "Hey, how do I watch this game?" I'm like, "You can't, and you don't need to. Keep it moving."
Keep it moving. Oh yeah, my worst. I started 4-0. My worst one. Oh man, North Florida. Whew. I don't know what was I thinking. That and Jacksonville State. I knew those were bad picks, and sure enough, they were really really bad picks.
I'm just looking at that Dayton final score. I'm glad I didn't watch that game because that had to have been in the same breath as us and Bradley, where I'm like, I'm not watching. I can't watch this game anymore. This is setting basketball back years at a time.
Yeah, that's not good for anything. All right,
no.
Our picks of the week for week 4. Let's have a good week, everyone.
Yeah.
Richie Longshots leading the way at 20-11-1. I'm second, but still under 500. Nothing to write home about. 15-17. Chad at 14-18. And hey, John, he's coming back. He's 12-20. Could he catch Chad this week? He might. He might catch me. So we'll see.
It's tight.
Maybe he catches him, early on with 2 different picks right off the gate here. So
yeah.
Tuesday night, Virginia -5 at Michigan. Long shots, me and you both liked Virginia -5. This was a tough game. I went back and forth in this, but I'm just like, I just think Virginia is so much better of a team.
Yep.
That I went with it, but I don't love this. I don't love this line at all.
No, I looked at it and I just looked at kind of who Virginia has played so far this year. I think it's a team that's not going to mind going on the road. Like I texted you earlier, I did some legit kind of research for this week. So I feel good. I saw, 5-6 isn't enough to get it done. I gotta, get back in the lab and do what I have to do. So I'm pulling up my notes now. So I'll be going back and forth. But I just think Virginia, they've played some better teams. It's going to be a marquee game. They're 5-0 on the year. Michigan 2-4 against the spread this year, 1-3 at home. So give me, Virginia 1-0 on the road this year against the spread. So I think, Virginia's going to be able to score points.
Yeah, second game, Queens at Bowling Green. Bowling Green, a 1-point favorite. John is the only dissenter here, going with taking Queens +1 on the road. I didn't love this game. I wouldn't want to actually bet real money on this. That's why I love to put these kind of games on there because they're tough.
Yeah.
I just went with the home team. I mean, that's pretty much my thought here. I went with the home team. I don't think either one of these teams are really all that good.
I think Bowling Green like ESPN gave them like a 68% chance to win the game, or it was something like along those lines. They've played a little bit of a tougher schedule than Queens. They've played St. Bonaventure, they've played Notre Dame. So I just, you know what? Give me the home team.
Yeah, go with the Falcons. Go with the Falcons.
Yeah.
Bellarmine at Kentucky. Bellarmine covered at Duke last week. I think Duke is better right now than Kentucky. That was my line of thinking here. And Bellarmine's just a team that's really hard to cover a 25-point spread against, just the way they play. They're going to be able to find ways to score some points against Kentucky. I think this game will never be close, but it's hard to see Kentucky covering 25 points.
And there's also a low-key look-ahead game. Kentucky, I know they just played North Florida, but tough loss to Gonzaga. Their next game against Michigan at Michigan. So, definitely going to be something they're going to be looking forward. So, in the same boat, Bellarmine should be able to keep it close. Not keep it close, but keep it within the number. Hopefully they don't get blown out too bad. But yeah, Bellarmine just played UCLA, lost by 21. So they can keep it close. They kept it close against Duke with those big spreads. So I like that in a team when they're a big time long shot.
Yeah. First game we feel different on North Carolina at Indiana. I haven't been a big believer in the Tar Heels, man. 6 points on the road. I don't think Indiana's, necessarily a great team, but I can't trust North Carolina to cover 6 points on the road.
And I made this pick before they played in a quadruple overtime game today. So that wasn't, I didn't factor that into everything. I just want that on the record because a 4 overtime game, you literally just played another half of college basketball. So not sure how much I love that. UNC against the spread, 1-5 this year. Not great. But Indiana, their schedule so far this year, JSU, Little Rock, Arkansas, Miami of Ohio, Xavier, a team named BCU. I don't know who that is. So, they haven't really played anyone quite like North Carolina yet. So that's my rationale there. And I'll always root for the Tar Heels. So my hatred for Duke runs that deep.
All right. Jacksonville at UAB. We're split on this one as well. Split across the board. You and Chad going with UAB minus 13. Me and John going with Jacksonville. I love UAB. I keep betting and picking against them. I think they are a great mid-major team, but their lines are just so big. Like, they have really great, like, KenPom numbers, but 13 points against Jacksonville team that's a good defensive team. I think UAB is a great team. I just don't like 13 points.
It is when they played USF last week. This past week, spread was 16.5. They didn't cover. They did play Presbyterian, blew the doors off of them, but obviously Jacksonville's a little bit better than them. I just like UAB at home, 2-0 this year against the spread, and good numbers defensively. I think it's be one of the better teams Jacksonville's played defensively. Other than Duke, but they got blown out against Duke, so who knows what they're going to be bringing. But give me the home team in that game, and fingers crossed.
Yeah, fun game to watch. All right, the kiss of death of the week goes to Florida Gulf Coast. We all four said they'll cover 2 points against Georgia Southern. I mean, I don't know how Florida Gulf Coast is an underdog in this.
I'm the same way. There's no way when that spread goes live, Wednesday morning that line's going to be 2. No
I
shot.
don't know. I don't know. Southern Miss was an underdog, a 2-point underdog in a game this week that they blew the doors off someone. I don't even remember who they played, but I don't know. Vegas doesn't always get these mid-major games right. Georgia Southern's a decent team. I actually won some money on them today covering a spread. But yeah, I don't love that.
They've been decent this year. But I just like Florida. If it's a coin flip game, which I think it is, give me the team that's catching a couple points.
Yeah. One of the games of the week, Creighton at Texas. Excited about this. Went back and forth a lot in this. I mean, Creighton was a preseason top 10 team. Texas, has been the darling so far this year. I think they're number one right now in KenPom. I mean, I love Texas in this game. I think they're absolutely going to win. 8 points is a lot. That was my rationale with why I went in Creighton. But long shots, you think Texas is going to get it done? You think they're going to cover the 8 points?
I do. I think they've had enough time from Gonzaga where they got through the games that would have been a letdown. Creighton just lost at Arizona. They just played, games back to back to back. Texas Tech, Arkansas, Arizona, and then, they'll have a little bit of time off, but might be too much time off. Going into Texas is going to be a tough place to play, and I like Texas a lot this year. They are the darlings, and I think it's for good reason, but I do think this is the marquee game of the week. Definitely one I'm going to watch.
Well, Gonzaga at Baylor. We all took Baylor -1. This is a neutral site game. I mean, it is actually a coin flip game. I think I could see this game going either way. Chad's the only one who took Gonzaga, took the point. I don't hate that. It's just really which team shows up.
Yes. Packers game.
He never.
No, their cut's coming back.
He never sleeps.
No. Got to keep it moving. Listen, I saw a tweet. Today could be the luckiest day of my life, and I wouldn't know if I wasn't gambling. So.
All right, but me and long shots and John got Baylor -1.
Why is this game in South Dakota?
I think it's a tournament.
What's in South? It's a tournament. Okay.
They do a tournament at I think it's called the Pentagon.
It says Stanford Sports Pentagon.
Yeah, it may not be a tournament. It may be more of like a showcase type thing.
Okay.
Because obviously Gonzaga and Baylor wouldn't be playing the first game.
No.
If it was a tournament. I think it's like a showcase where maybe, there's multiple games. I think they have men and women's. It's a whole.
And the game is on Peacock, so if you need my login for that, let me know.
I actually have Peacock, so yeah.
Oh, there you go.
They got the Hallmark channel, so we're locked into that this time of year.
Big time of year for the Hallmark channel. I just walked into my parents' house, pick up the dog, and Hallmark channel, Christmas movie.
They also have the WWE Network.
Yes, they do. I caught the end of War Games yesterday.
It was good.
I thought it was a good pay-per-view. I will admit when they do a good job. They did a good job. I won't be a hater all the time.
All right, yeah. Go from the Hallmark to WWE. I mean, it flows well.
We're ready for everything.
EKU +16 at JMU. Our guy John is taking the Duke Dogs to cover a 16-point spread. EKU is the kind of team that you never know what to expect. They play that super fast tempo. So, yeah, I mean, they could absolutely get run out of the building against anyone if they're not shooting, but I can't. 16 points.
It's a lot of points. JMU this year, though, 4-1 against the spread. Kind of impressive, but they ended up, I texted you, we were like, that's so many points. JMU was losing to Valparaiso. Shout out to my Lutheran schools out there. And they came back and lost by 2, but the spread was 15.5, and they lost outright. So give me all the points. They have been, crunching numbers, they have been double-digit favorites twice this year, and they've only covered once, or 3 times they've only covered once. So it's a lot of points for them to cover. Also, side note, I need an AJ Brown touchdown to win like $500. So
wow,
we're trying to get that home. That'll save the weekend.
Let me get that
sure you put that in my children's college fund.
It's 10%, baby. You know how it goes.
Okay. Let me get that 100 gambling number up on the screen after 500 bills are being discussed. All right. The second kiss of death of the week, Liberty -16, Maryland Eastern Shore. I just, the Delaware State was 24. This one's only 16. I think Liberty will cover this. They don't have a lot of games to prepare for this upcoming weeks. So they're going to have all the time in the world to prepare for Maryland Eastern Shore. I know Richie wants the boys to really have some good performances in these. This is their last. Is this their last? Second to last home non-conference game. The other one's against Grambling, so they're going to want to play well in these home games. So I think they'll cover the 16. But again, it is the kiss of death. So
I'm in the same boat. I think it'll be similar to what we didn't see on Saturday night. Last game before a little bit of a layoff before the two big Oral Roberts Bryant game. The Bryant game is going to be awesome. John Rothstein has been tweeting about this game like all summer. He's been like, this is a huge mid-major game. He's like, Darius McGee, like, I have never said it on here, but I think that game against Bryant is the biggest non-conference game. Take out the Alabama. Like, obviously those games are important to win, but when you look at like mid-major, the scope of everything, that's going to be a really good test of, where we're at getting ready for ASON play.
Yeah. The Oral Roberts one could do a lot more help to like the net ranks and stuff like that because it's a true road game. I don't know if they'll classify that as like a semi-road game for Liberty. I think KenPom will call the Bryant game a semi-road game. I don't know if the net will call it a full neutral game or not because it is in Massachusetts, so it's definitely a much bigger advantage for Bradley. All right, and then the last game of the week. Long shots went with John on St. Mary's. I know Houston played a pretty poor performance. They were able to sneak away against Kent State. I think Houston's the best team in the country. I love this Houston team. They didn't show it yesterday, but put them up against anyone. I think right now they're the best. They may not be the best at the end of the year. Some of these teams with some younger talent might surpass them. But if the NCAA tournament started tomorrow, I would pick Houston to win the title. So 8 points against St. Mary's, no brainer for me.
I don't love who Houston has played. St. Joe's, Oral Roberts, obviously, a nice win. Texas State, Oregon, Kent State, who they struggled with. And I think St. Mary's, Washington, Vandy, they played some Power 5 teams, and just 8 points. And I always like St. Mary's. They're always they're used to playing those big games against Gonzaga. So just thought 8 points. I'll take the points.
Yeah, no disrespect to the Gales, great program. Yeah. What Randy Bennett has done there, one of the most impressive coaching jobs over the last decade plus in college basketball, because that is a tiny, tiny school that had like literally no basketball program at all before he came, and he's turned them into a perennial top 25 borderline team every single year. So all the credit in the world. Like I said, I think Houston right now is the best team in the country. So I'm going to pick them against the spread pretty much against anyone until I really feel otherwise.
They'll be one on Monday, tomorrow.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Yeah. Or Texas.
With
maybe
North Carolina losing.
Maybe Texas passes them.
Maybe Texas.
Yeah.
They're there.
Yeah.
1 points.
So, yeah, we'll see how this week shakes out. Looking forward to it. Long shots. You moved up to the top after we.
Yeah, I wasn't sure where I was going to end up. I was like, ooh.
Wild. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about you at the top. I mean,
I know it threw me for a loop. I was like moving because I'm getting my hair's getting blocked by the Jason Porter ad up top. I'm like, let me move back a little bit. Like, I don't know what to do on the top screen. Lean back, but we'll make it work.
Very good. Well, any final words of wisdom for us? If you want to talk a little football, whatever, give us your final thoughts. The podium is yours. You've been on your best behavior tonight. We appreciate it. Take it away.
I just think, and I said it yesterday in the live space, but we're truly in such an awesome time of Liberty athletics. And when I was on campus from 2010 to 2013, we just missed the football playoffs every single year. We lucked into going dancing in 2013, which was a wild situation. But, just to think of what's happened, and no matter what happens in the next 48 hours with everything, there's still so much to be thankful for us to focus on. Yes, football is important. I love football, but but college basketball has been that consistent over the last 4 or 5 years on the national stage. I think the win against Mississippi State was the biggest win in any sport in school history. And I'm a believer in basketball, in what they're doing, and what they're capable of. And we had a great, we were talking yesterday about how, Richie McKay, how in 2020, if that tournament doesn't get canceled and we win the first 2 games and we get out of that first weekend, is he gone? I think yes. There's a good chance, you beat Mississippi State and then the next year you go to the Sweet 16, you're getting Power 5 looks. So, we're lucky to have him. And I'm excited about the future. I think once this team gels, we're going to be in a good spot and we're going to be having a lot of fun in March.
Yeah, I thought that was a fascinating point that you made. I hadn't really thought of it, and there was a lot less coaching changes that year too because of COVID. Teams just said, hey, let's just give this guy another year. We're in a weird spot anyways. We don't want to bring a new coach in right now. So yeah, it's a fascinating point. We'll never know the truth to that unless John Manson gives us a scoop. But yeah, fascinating thought, and hey, maybe a break. And but yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for the rest of the season. I think this team's good. I don't know how good, but I'm excited to find out. Mr. Longshots, pleasure as always.
Thank you, guys. Enjoy the rest of the night. We'll see you. See you on Twitter. Sure, it'll be an eventful 24.